Center for the Ethiopian Educational Information and Communication Technology presents Educational Satellite Television Programs.
Hello, teacher. Hello, students. Welcome to today's lesson on Ethiopia's environmental policy. In our last lesson, we learnt about the global epidemic of HIV/AIDS and how important it is to work together to raise awareness of this disease. Today, we are going to discuss the strategies used by the Ethiopian government to safeguard our environment. We will also study how we can use our country's natural resources in a responsible and sustainable manner. Are you ready to begin, students? An environmental policy is a structured series of guidelines designed to encourage wise interaction with our environment. It dictates a series of actions to manage human activities with the goal of preventing, reducing, and otherwise mitigating harm to nature and natural resources. Environmental policies also have the goal of ensuring that man-made changes to the environment do not adversely affect the human population. When we use natural resources to make a living, we affect the environment around us. We often end up causing harm to the ecosystem through pollution by putting toxic and poisonous substances into the land, water, and air. Farmers use chemicals like pesticides and fertilizers to increase crop yields. These chemicals are very helpful tools, but some can do lasting damage to the land on which they are used. They can also leach into the water supply, polluting rivers and groundwater. Other industrial products, like toxic waste, are also illegally dumped in isolated areas. Untreated sewage can sometimes filter into supplies of drinking water, causing outbreaks of disease. Air pollution is largely the result of the burning of fossil fuels. Cars, trucks, ships, and power plants all burn fossil fuels, thereby releasing pollutants into the local atmosphere. Carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen oxides. When precipitation passes through these chemicals, it becomes acid rain. Acid rain has been shown to have damaging effects on forests, fresh waters, and soils. And it kills insects and aquatic life. It also causes damage to man-made structures and threatens human health. Since fossil fuels are major contributors to air pollution, many nations have prioritized the development of safe, dependable sources of energy. This is one of Ethiopia's long-term environmental policies. Let us perform our first activity of the lesson, students. Please select a partner. What can you do to preserve Ethiopia's environment by fighting air, land, and water pollution? What changes could you make in your life and encourage others to make? Discuss these questions with your partner and see how creative you can be with your answers. I will return in a few minutes.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up. Let's get back to our lesson.
Welcome back, everyone. What ideas did you and your partner come up with? Each of us has a personal responsibility to uphold Ethiopia's environmental policies. Why? Because each of us uses the natural resources in our environment. Since we are all responsible for the consumption of resources, we must be wise and forward-looking in our management of those resources. Perhaps you decided to start a recycling program at your school. The more resources we reuse, the fewer natural resources we will need to take from our environment. Even better, by recycling, we reduce industrial pollution and produce less waste. There are many great ideas that we can implement to help control environmental pollution. After today's lesson, teacher will write your suggestions on the board so you put them into action. The government of Ethiopia has also designed policies to protect and improve the health and quality of life of all Ethiopians. The goal is to bring about sustainable social and economic development through the wise use of human and natural resources. We must balance the needs of Ethiopia's current population with the needs of future generations. These are the specific objectives of Ethiopia's environmental policy: to promote sustainable development and optimize the use of resources and management opportunities. To ensure that environmental concerns are explicitly addressed and incorporated into the decision-making process. To develop, implement, and measure programs that promote management systems for the environment. To prevent, minimize, and offset the adverse impact of municipal waste and other potential pollutants. To prevent the adverse effects of developmental proposals that may generate hazardous substances or wastes. To raise public awareness and promote understanding of the essential linkages between environment and development. That sounds like a fairly complete set of guidelines, does it not? Students, it is time for a review activity.